So, what if I told you that a few tiny habits, starting literally today, could put you on the fast track to financial freedom by 2026? We're about to break down a super simple but really powerful blueprint for taking back control of your money. And don't worry, there's no jargon, no complicated spreadsheets, just a few small changes that are going to make all the difference.
Does this look familiar? That feeling when the money hits your account and you feel like you just blink and it's gone. You know you got paid, but when you look, there's barely anything to show for it. It's an incredibly frustrating feeling, right? But believe me, it is not a life sentence.
Yeah, it's a story we all know too well. The paycheck comes in, and boom, it's immediately pulled in a dozen different directions. Rent's got to go out, utilities, groceries, maybe a car payment, and before you even have a chance to think about it, there's just nothing left for you.
So, what we're describing here actually has a name. It's called the paycheck-to-paycheck trap, and it's almost perfectly designed to keep you running in place. You know, it feels like you're working so hard just to stay afloat, but you're not making any real progress. Well, today we are building the escape plan.
Now, this next part is absolutely crucial. Most of us think the solution to our money problems is just to earn more, right? But what if the real secret, the key, isn't how much money you make, but changing the priority of when you save? Sounds like a small distinction, but trust me, it changes everything. So let's really dig into that shift. The core principle, the whole new way of thinking you need to adopt is simple, but it is profound. You have to pay your future first. It's all about making your future self the single most important bill you have to pay every single month.
In this slide right here, it shows the two paths perfectly. On the left, that's the trap we've been talking about. You earn, you spend, and then you just kind of hope there's some leftovers to save. But the new blueprint completely flips that on its head. You earn, you immediately save, and then you spend what's left over. It's a simple flip, but it causes a seismic shift in your financial life.
This is your new mantra. Say it with me. Pay your future first. Before you pay your landlord, before you pay for Netflix, you set aside money for the person you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years from now. You are finally prioritizing your own long-term well-being above everything else.
And you know, this is why it's so powerful. We're not just talking about a rule here. This is about forging a brand new financial identity. You're no longer someone who just hopes to save money. No, you are a saver. You are an investor. It becomes a fundamental part of who you are. It's the very first thing you do when you get paid. Okay, so how do we put this new identity into practice? I mean, it's great to think about, but we need a simple, practical system. And that's where the 15-65-20 blueprint comes in. This is your new, totally actionable framework for your money. I want you to start thinking of your paycheck not as one big lump sum, but as having 3 very specific jobs. From this moment on, 15% of it goes straight to your future, 65% handles your essentials, and a full 20%, that's for your freedom. Every single dollar has a purpose from the second it arrives.
Let's break that down real quick. That first 15% is for your future. It gets invested immediately. We're talking a low-cost index fund, a retirement account, something like that. The big chunk, 65%, that's for your essentials, your rent, your bills, your groceries, the boring stuff. And then, my favorite part, that last 20%, that's your freedom fund. That is guilt-free money for restaurants, hobbies, travel, whatever you want, without ever having to touch your savings or stress about the bills.
Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Whoa, 15%? That sounds like a lot to start with. And you know what? You're right. It can be. So we're not going to start there. We're going to start with the single, smallest, easiest, most important action you can possibly take. Your very first tiny habit.
That's it. Just 1%. Not 15, just 1. For every $100 that comes in, you're just going to move one single dollar to your future account. That's it. That's the tiny action that kicks off your entire financial transformation.
So why is 1% the most important number of all? Because it's not about the dollar amount, not at all. It's about building the muscle, that automatic habit. By making the decision once and then automating it, you completely remove willpower from the equation. You won't even feel 1% missing, but the psychological win, it's massive. You're proving to yourself that you are a saver.
So here's your plan for your very next paycheck. It's so simple. Step 1, you get paid. Step 2, before you do anything else, before you even think about a bill, you immediately transfer just 1% to a separate savings or investment account. And step 3, you live on the rest. That's it. That is how you build the habit. And by focusing on this one tiny habit. You are laying the very first stone on a much larger, much more exciting path. You're starting the journey toward real, tangible financial freedom.
Just look at how this progresses over time. You start that tiny 1% habit today. In 6 months, you won't even think about it anymore. It'll just happen automatically. And from there, you can slowly start to increase it, maybe to 2%, then 5%, until you eventually hit that 15% target. And by doing that, by 2026, you will have fundamentally, completely changed your financial trajectory.
So let's just do a quick recap. What's your takeaway here? Remember the problem. It's that awful paycheck-to-paycheck trap. The mindset shift you need? Pay your future first. The blueprint to get it done? 15, 65, 20. And the very first action you can take, like right now? Start with just 1%.
I'll leave you with this question. When you close your eyes and you actually imagine a life that is free from money stress, what do you see? Is it traveling the world? Is it starting your own business? Or is it just having the time and space for your passions? Whatever it is, that journey doesn't start with a lottery win. It starts with that first 1%.